So I want to talk about kind of how I got into cigars and kind of the process for me, since I'm still a newbie and I know a lot of you guys out there probably are interested like me on how to get into cigars. Now, to start off with, I'm going to tell you my story and how I got into cigars. And yes, I am not even a full year in yet. So it might be helpful for you guys to kind of see where I'm at as well in my journey with cigars. So let's get started. So my first cigar I ever had, I smoked about a year ago. And when I had that cigar, I got sick. I threw up. It was not a fun experience. I was like, I will never touch one of these things again. Fast forward a year later, I have a buddy, he's a little older than me, and he's been smoking cigars for quite a long time. And I told him, my story and how I was interested, but I didn't enjoy the fact that I got sick off of smoking my first cigar. So he told me a little bit about it, where to start. He told me, hey, maybe start with something more of like a Connecticut shade. So I did. I started with actually a Rocky Patel, the Java, which was actually a flavored cigar. It was good, but I want to start off by saying I have nothing against flavored cigars. Before we go in there, he also let me know that this probably isn't the main experience you're gonna have with a lot of cigars. So after I tried that one, after that cigar, I got lucky enough to start off with the Perdomo 10th Anniversary Champagne. Make sure that's the right name for that cigar. Yep. It was a fantastic cigar. I really liked it. Obviously, I was still newer, so I'm not able to pick out all these flavor notes that everyone's always talking about. But when I had started with that cigar, it was a very different feel from the very first cigar to the third one, technically. It allowed me to kind of just enjoy it without feeling like I'm about to puke. Now, with that being said, I am a little further in my cigar journey now. That was back in technically November, where I count my first start of smoking cigars. We've gained a collection. As you can see, this is my Humidor right here. One of my Humidors. And this is it's just one I got off Amazon, to be honest with you guys. This Humidor right here I got off Amazon. It is fantastic. I let it, season for 2 weeks. Got it to the humidity I like. And where I live, obviously, the humidity is a little rough. But with that being said, I got roughly, let me tell you, because I use an app to keep track of everything. Sorry, Gen Z, I don't know what to tell you guys. Let's look right here. I roughly have 19 cigars in there right now, and I average in between 19 to 30 at a time. I on average smoke about one a week, sometimes two depending on the circumstances, but typically one at the restart my week or at the end of a week, just to sit back, relax, have a little fun. It's kind of my cigar journey so far. I'm not gonna get into my favorites or anything in this video, but drop a comment down below if you want to know my favorite cigar. And so far, that's constantly changing. I won't lie to you guys, but I will comment down below if you want to see that, and I will let you guys know, or I'll even make a video about it. But now getting into how someone else can kind of get into cigars like I did. My recommendation for getting into cigars is there's two ways. Now, I love Amazon. Let's start there. I love Amazon. You can get a cutter and a lighter for less than 20 bucks, and you can go to your local cigar shop and buy a cigar. I honestly recommend with a Connecticut just to start off with, especially if you're not wanting that full body experience from a heavier cigar. Connecticut's are the way to go. It's easier to enjoy, by the way, because you're not going to taste that much in your first cigar. You're not going to know what to pick out. Even to this day, I'm still, learning different things and picking out different notes. Sitting back, going back to it, where to enjoy your first cigar. Now, if you're doing the Amazon route and you're buying your own stuff, and you go and buy a cigar from a cigar shop or like a Total Wine, like we have, where it's a walk-in humidor, you buy what you want and you leave. It sells cigars, alcohol, wine, all that fun stuff. And then if you want to go the route of actually going to a lounge, it's even better. And hear me out, here's why. There's people that know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, they can guide you in the right direction, and they have pretty much everything you can get there to make your experience as great as possible. So I if I started over for a second time, I would actually lean more towards going to a cigar lounge. It can be a little nerve-wracking at first, especially being a guy in your 20s, you know, around a bunch of older dudes. I can see where it can be a little nerve-wracking at first. Now, if you want to do the at-home route, super simple, bro. Find a spot you can smoke, typically on your porch or wherever, and you pretty much just cut the back of that cigar. And this isn't a how to smoke a cigar video, so I don't even know why I'm talking about that. But yeah, if you go the at-home route, it's super simple. Take your time, enjoy that cigar, man. And when you're smoking these things, this isn't something for you to rush. I mean, you should be puffing on that thing like maybe once every 60 to 90 seconds. But I'm not here to tell you how to smoke your cigar, bro. I'm just here to tell you my experiences. With that being said, that's really my cigar journey so far. I have gotten to try a lot of cigars over the last year or so, or less than a year. Been fortunate enough to get a cool ass humidor. That is something I recommend, is do some time to look up humidors, because there's so many different bits and pieces of information on them. There's electric ones, there's regular ones. Do yourself a favor, watch a YouTube video. I like this guy named Cigars Daily. Dude's super interesting. And he makes pretty good videos when it comes to getting into this hobby. Same thing with like Holtz Cigars. Those two guys are awesome. Especially getting into this hobby. Dude, just watch YouTube. It's so easy. It's very beginner friendly. Anyone can get into cigars, by the way. I've had cigars that are $6 that are just as good so far as cigars that are $10 to $20. Take your time. It's a fun hobby. I'm not a health guru, so I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do with your body. But if you're going to smoke them anyways and enjoy it. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this video. I've been wanting to make a cigar video on this channel for a second. I haven't, just because, I don't know. But I'm posting more on this channel, and I'm trying to figure out my lane. And if cigars are something you guys are interested in seeing me post more of, please let me know. With that being said, that's it. Yeah, I'm not smoking a cigar in the video or anything. I'm just talking about them. So anyways, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.